Hello, I'm Commander Pete the Sparky. There I am there. That's my ship, the Vengeance, and she's kitted out for bounty hunting just in case we have any trouble with space pirates. So today we can have a tour of our solar system, and I'm launching from Abraham Lincoln, which is a station in Earth orbit. So on our map we were able to select Pluto as our first destination. Get ready for launch.
Detach is good. You may leave when ready.
Quick check around to make sure there's no other ships above us before we take off.
Landing gear retracted.
Gear up, off we go. And that idiot didn't look up before he took off. I could show him what the blasters are for, but on this occasion we'll forgive him. Through the letterbox. And we're clear. You can see Earth to the right there, which we'll be visiting later on. Arty shot as us leaving the Abraham Lincoln. And we'll accelerate up to cruise speed. See you later, Earth. Okay, there's Pluto. A mere 21,000 light seconds away, which to be honest is quite far. Earth disappears into the background as we accelerate away. Quick test of flight controls. Let's go. And by the magic of television, I've managed to reduce it to 3 light seconds. Quite dark out here, obviously we're quite far away from the sun. Let's speed this up a bit. And that is what Pluto looks like from 6 million meters away. Not very inviting, I must say. Interesting nonetheless. Okay, next stop, Neptune. Once again, I spare you the journey, and we're now approaching Neptune. Just check for objects. Very faint ring there around Neptune. Still quite a distance from the planet there, and it still looks huge. Next stop, Uranus, or if you're a 6-year-old boy, Uranus. flash the lights to say goodbye to Neptune. And we're off. Approaching Uranus at speed. I mean, that's still a fair distance away. If you can imagine how far light can travel in a second. Obviously 2D doesn't give a true indication of the scales involved. For that you'd have to either be there, which isn't feasible, or use VR system. Next stop, Saturn, everybody's favourite ringed planet. Although technically it's a gas giant. Aligned for trajectory. And off we go. Check the ship's okay. We're doing okay. Every single star has its own planets and system. Everyone visitable. Space really is pretty big when you think about it. And we're approaching Saturn. Sped up, of course, to save you the wait. Very interesting planet, this. And people often wonder what makes up the rings of Saturn. So I thought, let's go and have a look. Why not? Now we've got to be careful here. Don't really want to approach these too quickly. You'll see why in a minute. Check the approach vector. Easier to do that by looking at the planet's alignment compared to your flight path. Last minute vector check. All good. Here we go. Gently does it. And that's why you don't want to go flying through planetary rings quickly. Because basically they're made up of billions of small asteroids. I say small. Technically they're absolutely massive. In fact, let's take a closer look at one. Now, it's deceptively large. Wait a minute, I'm getting scanned. Space Cop. Couple of Vipers which I could easily take out. Possibly pirates. But that rock isn't small at all, really. I mean, mine's not a small ship. If you look really carefully, you can see me sitting in the pilot's seat. There I am. Hello. So you can imagine how large that rock is. I also do mining occasionally, and you can mine asteroids for resources. But this ship's kitted out as a fighter, so I have no mining lasers on board. However, I do have cannons. Which obviously have absolutely no effect on something that large. Pretty effective against other ships though. That rock's just laughing at my measly bullets. Okay, enough of that rubbish. And you have to go for a spin through the asteroids, don't you, when you're in an asteroid field or a planetary belt? It's the done thing, it's the law. Suicidal tendencies, of course. I mean, one hit from one of these and you're in trouble. You gotta live dangerously, though. Life's too short. Yeah, let's have a boost. Good practice for when you're fighting pirates in asteroid fields. Okay, let's move on. Next stop, Jupiter, the big one.
Frameshift drive charging. 4, 3, 2, 1.
And that was a boost to get out of the asteroid belt and the Planetary Ring. Goodbye, Saturn. "4,000 light seconds away." And now we're only 20 light seconds away, the magic of television. And there she is. Absolutely huge. Again, faint ring. That is one big ass planet. Next up, Mars. Terraformed and colonised in the year 3000, of course. As we get closer to Earth, there's more and more space activity. Well, let's head for Mars. Okay, on Mars' final approach. Mostly covered in water now since the terraforming. Previously a red, dusty planet. And that's what she looks like from 18 million meters away. Inhabited for the last 200 years. Popular with tourists as well, I believe. Martian sunrise. Always very nice. But my windows could do with a bit of a clean, as you can see. Never get tired of this. Okay, let's head off to Earth. The cradle of humanity where it all began. Practically next door. On Earth approach. Otherwise known as the cesspit of the universe. Plenty of missions available from this planet. I think I can see my house from up here. Yep, definitely left the lights on. Stunning views there. But that's not why we're here. Next stop, Venus. Visible with the naked eye from Earth, of course. A mere 130 odd light seconds away from Earth. Still pretty far. Final approach. Unremarkable yet strangely stunning. Still, let's not linger. Next up, Mercury. Tiny little planet, closest to the Sun, of course. Now approaching Mercury. In fact, maybe we should land, fuel up, before we make the final hop to the Sun. Okay, we're going in for a landing on Mercury. Got to get these angles right. Too steep and we'll just splat straight into the planet. Too shallow, we'll just bounce off the atmosphere like a stone skipping across a pond. Speed's got to be right, angle's got to be right.
Orbital flight engaged.
Always a little bit scary. Gently does it. Impact warning showing top right there, as you can see. If I was to carry on in this trajectory, we'd fly straight into the planet. Still, I need to break through the atmosphere. Okay, we're gliding. We have very little control over the ship at this point. Okay, now we can use regular thrusters.
Papa Echo Tango. Welcome, Commander. Starport services are at your disposal.
In fact, before we land to fuel up, let's actually land on the surface and have a look what the score is. Probably a good idea to put landing gear down. Slow down slightly.
Landing gear deployed.
Gently, gently. Don't really want to crash here. Or anywhere. Okay, that looks a bit bumpy. I'm going to shimmy across a little bit. And that'll do. Pretty rough, not bad. Okay, power off. And let's switch to our SRV.
Drive assist on. Low gravity warning.
And here we are on the surface of Mercury, driving around in our little space buggy. Not much to see, really. Quite desolate, lonely. Temperature's not bad though. City over there, we'll go there for fuel later. Okay, that's enough scenery for one day. Let's get back to the ship. Align with the hangar. Okay, let's go and get some fuel.
Landing gear retracted.
Get some altitude first.
Access granted. Land on pad 09er. This is a speed-restricted zone. Throttle down immediately.
500 million miles from Earth and he almost got a speeding ticket. Unbelievable. Okay, there's our landing zone.
Landing gear deployed.
Descend to flight level 300.
Gently, gently. Sure there's nothing underneath us before we actually land, which there isn't. And we're down.
Docking completed. Deploying ground crew.
Let's go and get some fuel. Can do some minor repairs while we're here as well, from a previous mission. Okay, fuel up, bullets, repairs. I may or may not have flew into an asteroid earlier. Okay, let's go to the sun. Our final destination.
Detachment complete. You are clear for takeoff.
Clear.
Landing gear retracted.
Shiny. Destination set. Our star. Thank you, Mercury. Bye. Final approach to the sun. The star which makes human life possible. A massive nuclear reaction. Still really far away, but the heat levels unbelievable. And the size of it, unimaginable really. So shiny. There's only one thing for it. Thanks for joining me on the journey. See you on the other side.